All right, let me bring in an old friend, Oswald Bwechwa. We first talked. There's still the podcast is still out there, but we had talked with some stuff you were doing involved in soccer, and you had reached out to me because I think I was like mad the day that the USA lost to Trinidad and Tobago and didn't qualify for the World Cup. And one of the things when I listened back to some of it, I was like, I don't want to be too stark here, but I think soccer in America is dead. Well, okay, now the national team seems to be thriving, firing, rehiring coaches and all that stuff. But it's been a while since we talked, Oz. How you been?
Pretty good about you, man.
I'm doing good. Just a radio show in my basement. Nothing big.
Yeah. How's that now? Since from 1250 to like your basement, how's that transition going for you?
I feel like I feel like I need to redo my basement.
Yeah.
That needs to
Hey,
happen.
I get it. Like I gotta do something too, so I understand.
Yeah. So this Global Youth Support Center, that's the website, that's the organization, globalyouthsupportcenter.org. You're in charge of it. This is your thing. Tell me what you're doing. Tell people what you're doing. And because I think what I remember about talking with you was we talked about the US and soccer, and then we kind of griped like, opportunities. It's kind of like pay to play. And you would come over here, you said. So you're born in Wisconsin, right? You're born in Wisconsin. And then,
but then I grew up in Tanzania for 11 years.
Yeah,
before coming back here again.
Then you come back and you played soccer all the time over there, and then you came here, there's like nowhere to play soccer.
Especially middle school. I remember when I first got here, like, hey, you don't play basketball? I'm like, I don't know what basketball is. I don't even seen the ball before. So I'm like, do you have football? Oh no, now we have soccer. You mean like football, like American football? Like no. Like they don't play with your foot. They're like, we don't have that. You can play flag football or you can play basketball. So that's basically how I got into more sports that way. But middle school from 6th to 8th grade, I didn't do any soccer at all.
Yeah.
And I couldn't really afford to play like club soccer either. So it's basically for me just basketball in the summer, in a winter, and then I'll go outside and play some soccer by myself. But then high school came, and then I was able to play high school soccer. But before that, I really didn't have anything to play when I came back here.
Isn't that nuts? You come back to America and you're like, let's play soccer, football, and people are like, no, we just don't. That's not on the menu. We just don't have
it. Right. But I'm happy now. I think now it's a little more popular now with our youth. I think even my old school now has a team now, which is great for them.
Oh,
I wish I had it when I was there, but I guess that was like 12 years ago. But it's great that they have it now.
Yeah, I think more people, like it. I do some stuff with the club in Madison, and there's a club coming here. I think the problem was people thought it was getting forced on them, and then once that kind of backed off, and then people found it on their own. Like when you when you like a rock band, you don't want to be forced to like it, but when you find it on your own, I mean, it's a great game, man, and it brings people together, and that's kind of a little bit. If you could tell me what you're doing with Global Youth Support Center.
Yeah, for sure. So I also coach high school soccer at Milwaukee Lutheran High School, and there there's a lot of refugee kids who go to that school, mostly from Africa, from Kareni or Myanmar, and a lot of them kind of came to me because they knew, okay, I was an immigrant myself as well, so they sort of relate to me a little bit, and they start asking me for a lot of advice in terms of life. It's like, okay, hey, how do I do this? How do I open a bank account? How do I do this? I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. I'm kind of like connecting with them. And it was really through soccer where I was kind of coming to me because of that. So we started kind of small. We do like a once a week thing where we'll play pickup soccer for like an hour, and then after another hour we'll do like a mentorship program for them. Well, we used to talk about life in general, whether like, okay, how do I open a bank account, or how do I go buy something at a store using a bank card, things like that they wouldn't know as immigrants in America.
Yeah.
So from there, we kind of sort of grew from there, because then more kids started coming. And then I was like, okay, maybe why not start something more formal here for them, where I can actually have more resources for them to kind of help out with everything else. So that's basically how we started the whole thing, from like 5 kids from my high school, then to like 40 kids every weekend. They come in to play soccer, and then we do stuff with them afterwards. We feed them some snacks, or then we do some programs with them. So from there, we were like, okay, we can do more. Let's have. Then what other things they first hear in America? when they come here. It was mostly language barrier that was number one thing. So that in school for them was harder because the English is hard, and school can be tougher that way too. So imagining having a struggle in a subject plus language barrier. So well, okay, let's do something with that. So we started going into schools where we'll partner up with different schools, mostly MPS, where we'll sit in classes and we kind of help them with translation. We kind of help them with like making sure parents know what's going on, because most of these parents who come here, they speak zero of English, like zero. So for us, it was kind of really getting interpreters to kind of help them with like understanding what's going on in school, how the kids are doing. Because other thing too with these kids sometimes, since they know their parents don't speak English, they can kind of get away with things. So if they're failing in class, they can kind of keep quiet about it because their parents doesn't know any better. So that's where we kind of come in, we kind of bridge that gap between schools and families, kind of making sure we're on the same page. So we kind of did that, and then as the year went on, it's about a year later, I heard about this opportunity at the high school that they also have international programs for kids to come from different countries to come to school here, and go to school here and then do whatever they want to do. I was like, okay, this is a good idea for me. Being from Tanzania, I can kind of offer this opportunity to other kids who are there to come to school here. So basically, we started an international outreach program where we basically see kids who have special talent in something, whether it's academics, whether it's athletics, whether it's arts and crafts or performance arts. We bring them here for school for 4 years. We help them out. We help them nurture their talent, and then they go to college, and go from there. So then last year we started with 5 kids from Tanzania who are very good soccer players and also very smart kids. They came here first year last year. They just finished this year with high honors actually, which was very good for them. Yeah, because they they came here like two weeks late, and they somehow were able to do very well in classes and finish with high honors, despite the language barrier being far away from home. So we're pretty proud about that. But so we were like, okay, this is cool. We are helping more kids to come here and like go to school, but that's way more expensive than that's just too expensive to bring kids here and like kind of help them out. So like, okay, why not do something in Tanzania where we can have more impact there? We can reach more kids who can kind of benefit from our programming. So we're like, okay, again, I love soccer. That's the only thing I kind of really know how to kind of relate with kids. Yeah. So we decided to start like a league in Tanzania. So we'll talk about opportunities, right? And like kids having to play, but in Tanzania there aren't really like many structured leagues that kids can like be a part of. It's mostly just you go to the streets, you play around, and that's it. Like there's no imagine like NBA. It's just NBA. There's no high school basketball. There's no college basketball. There's no middle school. It's just NBA. So that's how it is in Tanzania. So we had this idea. Okay, let's start a league in Tanzania for like for 12 to 18 years old, and kind of really help them with exposure and just touch more lives that way. So right now we are starting a league called Tanzania Elite Youth Soccer League, and basically we are trying to get all these academies in Tanzania to kind of join, kind of have a college style, like NCAA style format where we have like different conferences.
You guys are like on your own trying to start a league in Tanzania.
Yep, basically, yeah. Jeez. And I mean, we have some connection there, but we're trying to kind of really find our footing. So basically, we want this league to kind of be able to showcase kids' talent, because other thing too with Tanzania, like a lot of it is very unrealized. Like I grew up there with the kids who were so talented, who I think if they were here, they might be playing pro right now. But there was no that opportunity for them to kind of showcase that. And in terms of like global stage, Tanzania is very underrepresented. Like you don't see many Tanzanians in like Europe playing big time soccer. You don't see Tanzania as a country in like World Cup or Cup of Nations in Africa. Not because we don't have talent, because there's no opportunity for them to kind of show that talent. So the pool of recruiting is not, big. So for us, it's more about opportunities and kind of bring that to them. And we're hoping this league will grow at each state. So for first year of next year, we are starting with 4 states: Dar es Salaam, Dodoma, Arusha, and Singida. This is one of the biggest states, and we want to kind of expanding each year. So there's 26 states. We're hoping in about 10 years to have a league in each state that's all interconnected and having conferences and like all the tournaments where people can like see these kids. And we're also kind of partnering up with different colleges to see if they can come and like recruit in Tanzania. Because again, that's a place where
like I'm just as you're talking, I'm thinking like in America, people always lament the fact that they say, well, it's a country of 300 million. How is this our soccer team? Oh, because they do baseball and basketball and golf and whatever. And then in Tanzania, it's like there's nowhere to even do the soccer. There's nowhere to even do that part of it. So that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, yeah. So it's kind of like almost like a. I mean, here it's normal, but in Tanzania it's like the whole new thing, and it's kind of hard to kind of get people to think about that. Like, hey, we can do these leagues to kind of have more options for our youth. Because right now, all these teams like the pro leagues, they have like academies of their own, but it's like U20 and up. So you're ignoring like this bunch of 12, 13 who are very good at a young age. They don't have any development, and you're kind of okay, come now, you can come play with us now. So you're losing all that time to kind of develop them and kind of really get the best out of them and maximize the talent. So this is kind of really hoping this league picks it up and really helps hone and provide opportunity of younger kids, younger generation. And we're hoping it's really like a game changer for us and for the country.
Again, website globalyouthsupportcenter.org, and you're doing stuff in Milwaukee to help people. You're doing two things.
Yeah.
You're doing stuff in Milwaukee to help people, to help immigrants or refugees or whatever get acclimated and learn to be successful. And then with your home country, you're doing things to try to start up the soccer league, and it's all kind of funneled into this.
Yeah.
And people can is there a way to how can we help? How can is there a donation? Can we do anything?
Yeah, so we have a donation on our website and a GoFundMe page as well. I can share that with. I think I shared that with you. Yeah.
I'll get it out there.
Yeah, so we have that. We are also there's one more thing we're doing actually in Tanzania. So there's a stadium in my home country that's been there for 40 years, just torn down, just nothing's happening there. So we decided to kind of try to raise money for that to build a new stadium for them.
What's it called?
So what's that?
What's the stadium called?
So it's called GYSC Stadium, and it was the name of one of the colonial powers while doing colonialism, and the name just stayed there for 45, 50 years. So we are trying to build it again, and we will name it after our organization, Global Youth Support Center District. We are kind of calling it like a dear district sort of style.
Oh, nice.
So we kind of stealing that idea and kind of making that in Tanzania as well. So having different restaurants, things to do in the area. So it's not just soccer. It's like other things that's happening as well. Yeah.
Yeah, this is good just to get some exposure too, because really, you don't hear much about Tanzania at all.
Yeah. And I'm not. Yeah, because right now, it's in terms of African countries like Ghana and Nigeria, is also more popular ones. So Tanzania not very popular as much. Even here in Milwaukee, you can count us in one hand how many people are here compared to Nigeria and Ghana.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're not a very. I live in Milwaukee because it's cold. Nobody wants to come here. They want to go to Texas and Florida. So while I'm here,
What are you doing here?
I don't know, man. Ask my mom. she was on came here, so yeah.
Well, you're here and you're making an impact and a difference.
Yeah, yeah.
That's great to see. Again, the website globalyouthsupportcenter.org. Anything else people should know, Oz?
We're also looking for mentors as well. We can never have enough mentors in this line of work because again, new kids coming every week. I mean, if people don't know, there's about 20 families that coming to Milwaukee every month from different countries. So especially now with Afghanistan, Ukraine stuff going on, Congo stuff going on. there's more people who are coming, and we need more mentors, people who can help with the youth. Can help us by becoming a mentor, volunteering at our fundraisers. Right now, we're doing a fundraiser with the Brewers, where we bring people in to help with concession stand, and we get like a 8% proceeds to our organization. So mentors is a lot. We need a lot of mentors.
So you're working mainly with you said MPS, like you're able to find
Yeah.
You're able to find everybody that comes over, or you're always still looking?
We are, well, so they're assigned to like different schools. So like so when they arrive here, there's different agencies where they place school kids in schools.
Okay.
And most of them go to MPS schools. So like High School of the Arts has the most population of refugees. South Division has another one too. So we help we work with those schools, kind of really. So it's kind of easy for us to go into schools and try to find them in the city, because in schools they're already there. They're already like already learn, and it's a much better space of interacting with them.
Right.
Yeah.
Good. GlobalYouthSupportCenter.org. Oz, good to see you again.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for your time.